talk about football clubs losing a part of their soul when they move away from their iconic homes, that this club and stadium might well be the exception. 1997 was a big year for change in English football. Off the back of the Hillsborough Disaster and subsequently the Taylor Report, clubs were leaving their iconic, historic homes of many years in favour for a new, modern, swanky facility. Now, ladies and gents, in this glorious rain, I'm filming 2 videos today. You might have seen, I might have already uploaded this video in Sunderland. I'm here, of course, at the site of the former Reebok Park Stadium. This was the centre circle. Of course, they leave here in 1997 in favour of the Stadium of Light. Sunderland weren't alone. That same year in 1997, Stoke City would leave the Victoria ground. Derby County would abandon the baseball ground. What a pitch. And of course, Bolton Wanderers would leave Burnden Park in favour of what I still call the Reebok, the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. So today, as Bolton Wanderers take on Bradford City in the EFL League One playoffs, we get to experience this beautiful stadium for the very first time. Ladies and gents, welcome back to Riders the 92. Welcome to episode 10. Wow, we've made it to double figures. Hit that like button. It's going to be a good one. Here we go then, guys. I knew it was going to be tight. We got held up in traffic in game number 1 at Sunderland, but we're just going to maybe be two minutes late before kick-off. But there it is. Look at that beautiful, tough shit community. I'm only joking. Tough Sheet Community Stadium. It looks nice on this warm evening, and the atmosphere sounds even better. So, a little late to the party on this one, guys, but don't worry, we'll be ticking off the usual stuff. But before we see the insides of this sexy stadium, let's learn about Bolton's history, specifically at the old ground. Ladies and gents, welcome back to Riders the 92. Welcome to episode 10, and of course, welcome to a club stitched into the fabric of English football, founded all the way back in 1874. Of course, we're here at Bolton Wanderers, one of the original 12 founding members of the Football League in 1888. Long before the Premier League, long before modern football became what it is today, Bolton were already helping build the foundations of the English game. And for over a century, this club called Burnden Park their home.
Bolton keep up the pressure, and from the centre by Bert, Stephen finds the net. 1 up for the home side.
Tight terraces, rusting steel, floodlights cutting through the northern sky. Burnden Park wasn't polished, it was proper football, but it does have a dark past. Now, it's probably one of the most forgotten tragedies in English football. When we talk about crushing, people losing their lives, of course, naturally, we talk about Hillsborough in 1989. But a whopping 43 years before that disaster, there was another disaster, the Burnden Park disaster. And in a similar way, people crammed in the stands. This was a massive game between Bolton Wanderers and Stoke. And of course, 33 people would lose their lives.
I want to pay tribute to ASDA here at Burnden Park, who have always embraced the history of Bolton Wanderers Football Club.
Controversially, the game would continue with people covered over, lay on the side of the pitch. It was an incredible disaster, but with that said, Bolton fans will have many fond memories beyond that incident here at Burnden Park. Now, of course, it was where they built the foundations of the club. It is, of course, where legends of the game played, none bigger than Nat Lofthouse, the Lion of Vienna, a local hero who became one of the greatest goal scorers England has ever produced. But like many historic clubs, Bolton eventually stepped into the modern era, of course leaving that ground in 1997.
Sad to leave Burnden Park, but going to Norwich now, starts again at the new stadium.
And then obviously they'd move on to what I still call the Reebok Stadium, currently the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. I can't remember what it's called. It's changed names over the years. But Bolton didn't just survive in modern football, they thrived, especially under Big Sam Allardyce, because he turned Bolton, should I say, into one of the most fascinating clubs in the country. But football moves fast. Relegation, financial problems, administration, uncertainty over whether Bolton Wanderers would survive, and having Fogden as their most famous fan. Difficult times for Bolton, one of England's great historic football clubs, suddenly staring into the abyss. And maybe that's why nights like this matter so much, because ladies and gents, this isn't just another League One playoff game. For Bolton fans, this feels like another step back toward where they believe they belong, in a higher division, bigger occasions, bigger nights, and maybe one day, maybe this week, the sleeping giant of English football is suddenly starting to wake up again. Oh, just made it.
0-0.
Still 0-0, I love it.
There you go.
Thanks very much, brother.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank
Cheers. Oh.
Right guys, I've took a risk. It's the game's still on, a couple more minutes of injury time for the first half, and I know we missed the first 5 or 10 minutes, but a fantastic atmosphere. I'm still going to call it the Reebok. Only downside is the only lager they do at the stall near me is Coors, and not the best lager, £5.80, so not a rip-off, reasonable price, but it's better than a Carlin, I guess, or a Budweiser. Slight improvement. And that pie, I'm glad it wasn't a pucker pie. I had a chicken bolty pie. Very, very crusty. Bit of a hard crust. So I'm not sure how we're going to rate that pie. Give it a better rating because it wasn't a pucker pie, but not the best pie either. Cheers. So there we go, 0-0, half-time. Every playoff game so far seems to have been 0-0. The championship games, 0-0. I can see goals. It's been exciting. Anyway, you might have seen I chucked in a bit of footage with fellow YouTubers around the grounds and Jebbo. Unfortunately, they've got the prime seats. They're the pro YouTubers. I'm below the Bradford fans, so although we can hear them, we can't see them.
Right, I've just told them I'm nicking their footage. We're here with the pros.
What, mate?
Bogdan, what's your score prediction?
Bogdan's age, 0-0, stinking 0-0.
How boring's this game?
0-0, 0-0, stinking 0-0.
It's freezing.
Here we go then, guys. Another 0-0. But I believe Bolton are going to win this, I think. 2-0. That's my score prediction. Unusual situation, guys. The referee has gone off. I'm not sure if the referee is injured. Bradford fans above singing "You're not fit to referee." I think he's done a good job. He's just pulled a hamstring. He's done something. Jesus Christ, guys. I thought we were going to get through this vlog without a fight. Welcome to England. Right, guys, on each episode of Riders the 92, we need to tick off the 3 Ps. Of course, we've had a pint, we've had a pie, but now, thankfully, the club shop was open and we've got the pin badge. A lot of parking facilities by the stadium, but getting out after match day looks like an absolute nightmare. I'm hoping, being somewhat clever and parking on someone's driveway on Just Park, I might be able to avoid a little bit of this. Who knows? So yes, I was stuck in traffic for about an hour, but despite that, this was an incredible spur-of-the-moment trip to Bolton. Of course, I was held up in traffic after the Sunderland game before, so I missed out on the Bolton fan zone pre-game. However, I have been to this ground before and in that fan zone. Of course, next door to the stadium is basically a huge retail park with a McDonald's and loads of other popular shops and restaurants. Not forgetting that the Tough Sheet Community Stadium itself has a hotel inside it too, so I guess we'll have to return for round 2 sometime, stay at the hotel and soak up some of that pre-match atmosphere.
You also have a man that guards the room to make sure you are not drinking alcohol during your stay whilst the football's on.
But with that said, guys, I was very impressed with this experience, so here are my rankings. I've gone with stadium aesthetic, a whopping 4 out of 5. As I said at the start, this is a modern ground done right. I think it's beautiful. I think it really holds in the atmosphere. Speaking of which, I've gone for fan atmosphere, 3.5 out of 5. I thought they did really well, but again, we try and mark all of these relative to the occasion. It's a playoff game, 2 big clubs, so you know what they're going to be like on a cold, wet and windy Tuesday night against, you know, a lower team with less fan base. We'll have to find out, of course, but 3.5 out of 5 for fan atmosphere. Food and drink, now I've got mixed opinions on this. I was glad to see a pie other than a pucker pie, but it really wasn't the best pie. Incredibly tough, very thick pastry, not the best Balti pie I've ever had. And Coors as well. Coors isn't probably my go-to lager, not many options available. But with that said, I've gone for 2.5 out of 5. I still feel like it wasn't too bad, and I can't go too harsh because of course, not serving pucker pies. Matchday experience as a whole, again, it is a little bit difficult because we got to the ground quite late, but again, I have been there before, so I can use that with my rankings. I've gone for 3.5 out of 5, a really good shop. We've of course got that pin badge. There were loads of different pin badges, and obviously off the back of not getting one in Millwall and at Cheltenham Town, it's always good to tick the pin badge off the list. But of course we mark it on other things as well. Its location, albeit is you know, in a modern setting, it's got loads of stuff around it, so that all adds to the matchday experience. Of course, that gives us a total of 4 plus 2.5 plus 3.5 plus 3.5 equals 13.5. As you've probably noticed, we've introduced 0.5 ratings for the very first time in Riders the 92. Reason being, it definitely impressed me, but I still feel that Pompey in the top spot had the edge. That club is really going to be tough to knock off the perch. Any suggestions on clubs and stadiums who might challenge Pompey's 14 points, get suggesting in the comment section below. And ladies and gents, I'll see you in episode 11 for the reverse fixture of today's game in Bradford. Thanks as always. I've been Rye, and this has been episode 10 of Riders the 92.
I'll take you to the football, so we'll